Open your banking app. Look at the number on the screen. Look at your retirement portfolio. Look at the deed to your house. You feel safe, don't you? You think that because you worked for it, because it has your name on it, it belongs to you. I am here to tell you that you are wrong. We are living through the greatest magic trick in financial history. While you were distracted by political noise, wars, and pandemics, the legal definition of ownership was quietly rewritten in the dark. They haven't just rigged the game, they have changed the rules, so that when the next crash comes, and it is coming, you don't just lose value. You lose everything, not by theft, but by law. Welcome to the global wealth nexus. Today, we are not talking about inflation or stock tips. We are talking about the great taking. By the end of this video, you will understand why you own nothing and who is waiting to take it all. To understand the trap, we must go back to the mechanics of the system. For centuries, property rights were sacred. If you bought a stock, you held a certificate. It was yours. If the broker went bankrupt, they couldn't touch your certificate. But in the digital age, that became inconvenient for the big players. So, they introduced something called the Uniform Commercial Code, specifically Article 8. Here is the terrifying truth. You no longer own your stocks or bonds. You own a security entitlement. Does that sound like the same thing? It is not. Ownership means you hold the asset. Security entitlement means you hold a contract with a broker, who holds a contract with a custodian, who holds a contract with the central depository. Legally, you are now an unsecured creditor. This means if your broker or the bank goes under, your assets are not sitting in a vault waiting for you. They are part of the bank's capital pool. And in a bankruptcy, secured creditors, the mega banks, the derivatives giants, get paid first. You are last in line. They turned your property into their collateral, and you signed the terms and conditions without reading them. Remember 2008? The governments used taxpayer money for bailouts. They printed trillions to save the banks. People were angry. Politicians promised, never again. And they kept that promise, but not in the way you think. In 2014, at the G20 summit in Brisbane, the world's central bankers agreed on a new strategy. No more bailouts. The new policy is the bail-in. What is a bail-in? It means when a systemically important bank fails, the government will not save it. Instead, the bank is legally authorized to recapitalize itself using the funds of its depositors and creditors. That means you. We saw a test run of this in Cyprus. We saw echoes of it with Silicon Valley Bank, but the real event will be global. When the derivatives bubble, worth quadrillions of dollars, finally pops, there isn't enough taxpayer money in the world to fix it. The only pool of money large enough to fill the hole is yours, your pension funds, your savings. Under the new laws, your deposit is not your money. It is a loan you made to the bank, and loans can be defaulted on. But why? Why would they rewrite global laws to seize your relatively small assets? Why do they need the house of a teacher in Ohio or the savings of a retiree in London? To answer that, we have to look at the monster hiding in the basement of the banking system. It is called the derivatives market. Most people think the economy is made of stocks, bonds, and cash. That is the visible economy. The real economy is a casino built underneath it. Global GDP, the value of everything produced in the world, is about $100 trillion. The global derivatives market? It is estimated at over $1 quadrillion. That is a 1 followed by 15 zeros. These are bets on bets, bets on interest rates, bets on currency fluctuations, bets on the weather. And here is the terrifying part. The collateral backing these quadrillion-dollar bets is the same collateral that backs your bank deposits. After 2008, regulators forced all these bets to go through entities called Central Counterparties, or CCPs. They told us this was to make the system safer. In reality, they built a black hole in the center of the financial system. The rules of these CCPs state that if a major member fails, the CCP has the right to auction off all underlying collateral to balance the books. Remember what we discussed earlier? Through the security entitlement laws, your stocks and bonds are pooled into this same collateral chain. When the interest rate bubble pops, the derivatives market will face a margin call from hell. The CCPs will demand collateral to cover the losses. Where will that collateral come from? It won't come from the bankrupt banks. It will come from the secured assets pool. That means your retirement fund. That means your ETF portfolio. This is why the laws were changed. They knew the math. They knew that when the quadrillion-dollar bubble bursts, there isn't enough money in existence to bail it out. So they legalize the theft of all assets to fill the void. They are not stealing your money because they want to be rich. They are stealing it because the system they built is insolvent by design. They need your liquidity to keep the casino lights on for one more day. You are not just a depositor, you are the insurance policy for a casino you were never invited to. Now, you might be thinking, I'll just withdraw my cash, I'll hide it under the mattress. The architects of this system are 3 steps ahead of you. The legal framework is ready, the trigger is ready, the only missing piece was the fence to keep you from escaping. Enter Central Bank Digital Currencies. CBDCs are not just digital money, they are programmable money. Right now, if you want to buy gold, you can. If you want to send money to a friend, you can. But with a CBDC, the central bank has absolute visibility and absolute control over every transaction. Imagine a scenario where a bail-in is declared. In the old world, there would be a bank run. People lining up at ATMs. In the CBDC world, they simply turn off your ability to transfer funds. They can impose negative interest rates, effectively taxing your savings instantly to pay off the national debt. They can restrict what you buy. They can restrict where you send money. The great taking cannot happen efficiently with physical cash. It requires a digital prison, and they are building the walls right now. Why now? Why is this urgent? Because we are sitting on the everything bubble. Stocks, bonds, real estate, everything is artificially inflated by cheap debt. The Federal Reserve knows they cannot print money forever without causing hyperinflation. They have 2 choices. Hyperinflation, which destroys the currency, or deflationary collapse, which destroys the assets. History suggests they will choose a controlled demolition. They will let the markets crash. When the collateral value drops, margin calls will go out. Who has the liquidity to buy up the real assets, the farmland, the real estate, the commodities, for pennies on the dollar? Not you. You will be locked out. It will be the protected class. The entities that have super priority status in the bankruptcy laws. This is the greatest wealth transfer in human history. It is the consolidation of all resources into the hands of the few. This information is heavy. It is designed to be terrifying because the reality is terrifying. Most people will turn off this video and go back to sleep. They will be the victims of the great taking, but you are still watching. You are the anomaly. The system is rigged, but it is not inescapable. Ownership is still possible, but it requires new strategies. You must understand the difference between counterparty risk and true possession. You must diversify outside of the digital banking system. You must educate yourself on assets that cannot be printed or programmed. We are not here to sell you fear. We are here to sell you the truth, so you can build a fortress around what is yours. The game has changed. The rules are different. Don't be a spectator in your own financial execution. Subscribe to Global Wealth Nexus. We are watching the architects. And now, so are you.